These are the Marshall Motif II A.N.C earbuds, which is really exciting because one of the first amps I ever bought when I was in a metal band back in the day was a Marshall amp. That classic brass faceplate and sound was so popular amongst many bands that we were influenced by, like Megadeth. How many of you didn't know I used to be in a metal band? You should hear my metal growl sometime, maybe at the end. When Marshall reached out and asked if I wanted to work together, I had to say yes. So thanks to Marshall for sending these out and sponsoring this showcase. If you're new here, my name is M. Brandon Lee, and I've been an audio engineer for over 15 years for live concerts, events, in the studio, and more. I'll have some ANC transparency call samples and more in this video. Of course, a link to pick these up is always found in the description, and I'll also share my custom EQ for these. First, these must be one of the most amazing designs ever in an earbud. They brought their rich history of making guitar amps into the design of the earbuds. The case reminds me of the wrap on a guitar cab with the excellent leather-like design, and the earbuds have a nice matte black texture and stems that have some awesome knurling that they use on the knobs of their amps. It even has a little splash of their signature brass color to tie it all together. I love how these look and appreciate that they took a more sustainable approach to constructing these earbuds because they're made from 70% post-consumer recycled plastic from old electronics, water bottles, and automotive light covers. And the earbuds are IPX5 water resistant, and even the case is IPX4 water resistant, which is nice to see. Because of that, you can wear these out and about even if it rains a little, and even while working out without worrying about them. The case is also designed to improve battery preservation, which you can adjust in the app to extend the lifespan of the batteries. You can charge it over USB-C or even wireless charging and get 30 hours of total playtime with ANC turned on by using the case to recharge the buds, which is 10 hours longer than the previous version. This is huge. You can go throughout your day without worrying about finding a charger. As for the buds alone, you can get 6 hours of playtime with ANC turned on and 9 hours without ANC, and then pop them in the case if you need to charge them quickly. It only takes 15 minutes to get an extra hour of playtime. This easily gets me through most flights and trips that I'm on. They come with different ear tips to help you find the perfect size for your ears. Ensuring that you have the right ear tips for each ear is super important. If you have too small or even too big tips, they can break the seal and give you a less full sound. I have a weird ear canal, so I need a different size for each ear. Once they're in, they're nice and snug, even passing the shake, running, and lifting test. Inside these tiny earbuds is a 6mm dynamic driver that can produce audio from 20 Hz to 20 kHz, which means it covers the entire human hearing range to give you that classic Marshall quality sound. Combine it with their adaptive EQ, the Marshall Motif II A.N.C earbuds are perfect for those who like a more emphasized, punchy bass and low mid sound with a little bit of scoop in the mids. Marshall says that they tuned it to give you a concert quality sound, but if you're like me and like to tinker with the sound, there are preset EQ settings and the option to create your own to your taste, which I always appreciate. It also supports Bluetooth 5.3 LE audio, so you have the best connection that is future-proof for high quality audio. It also helps improve the range of your connection between your earbuds and your device, and enhances the sync of your audio so you can enjoy watching videos without distractions or delay. I've been able to leave my phone in the studio and walk all around my house without having dropouts, which surprisingly, a lot of earbuds cannot do. One of the best parts about the Marshall Motif II is the ANC. That's why it's in the name. ANC, or Active Noise Cancellation, is fantastic when you're on a plane, in a busy cafe, around noisy people, or any other noisy environment. That means that you can easily block out some of your surroundings to reduce distractions, so you can better hear what you're listening to uninterrupted. Now, one of my favorite things about ANC is that you can hear everything more clearly than if you didn't have ANC, which allows you to listen to your music at lower volumes. You only have one set of ears, so listen responsibly and at healthy levels. You can switch between ANC, off, and transparency mode in the app. You can also toggle between ANC and transparency mode by holding down on your earbud, and there's even a bunch of other things that you can do with the touch gestures, which you can see in the guide in the app. You can also adjust the ANC and transparency levels to your taste. Transparency mode allows you to better hear and be aware of your surroundings, like when you're running, and easily have a conversation with someone without having to take out your earbuds. And yes, if you're like me and still like wearing one earbud at a time, you can use either one at a time perfectly fine. Now, instead of me telling you about the ANC and transparency mode, how about some objective samples so you can hear how they perform for yourself? This is a transparency test of what it would sound like if you had the Marshall Motif II A.N.C earbuds on and you had it in transparency mode and someone like a Brandon Lee was talking to you. This is what the ANC would sound like on the Marshall Motif II A.N.C earbuds if you were just in a relatively quiet room and someone like a Brandon Lee was talking to you. Okay, now we are in a simulated cafe environment. There's also an air purifier going at full blast. It's pretty dang noisy, but this is what transparency mode sounds like in that type of environment. So let's change it over to ANC. And then this is how the ANC is performing in that very, very noisy environment. How do you think it's performing? There's also the option to adjust the ANC level in the app. So if I were to turn it down to low, this is what it would sound like. If I turned it up to medium, this is what it would sound like. And if I turn it up to high, this is what it would sound like. And we're going to go back to transparency mode. We're back to transparency mode. You can turn the transparency down to low. This is what transparency sounds like at low. You also have transparency at medium, and then finally, we're back at transparency at high. Let's go back to ANC one more time. How do you think the Marshall Motif II A.N.C did? Any observations? Let me know in the comments. If you're curious to find out how well these sound over a Zoom call on your laptop or computer, this is what it sounds like. How about a microphone test? This is what the Marshall Motif II A.N.C earbuds sound like in a quiet environment. And here's a microphone test in a simulated environment like a cafe and room tone like a air purifier. How do you think the microphone performs in this situation? And here's a baseline of what the room sounds like with all the noise and, you know, just recording with my phone. I think they're a great value at around $199, and there's a link below in the description to check them out. And a click on that helps support me and the sponsors that support me so I can continue making great content for you for free. And for those that stayed until the end, here's my custom EQ in wavelet for the Marshall Motif II A.N.C for free and courtesy of Marshall. If you'd like to help support the channel in other ways, consider becoming a channel member, sending a super thanks, and subscribing. Thanks for watching This Is Tech Today. Until next time. Oh, don't think that I forgot about the growl. Here's a short clip from way back when.